Good evening, football fans. Welcome back to Between the Tackles. I'm your host, Dominic Minicosi, and tonight I'm going to talk about my new favorite quarterback-wide receiver duo in the NFL. Let's get started. When I think of great quarterback to wide receiver chemistry, iconic duos that immediately come to mind are Steve Young and Jerry Rice, Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, and even current NFL players like Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. All of these great combinations have one major factor in common: time. Young and Rice played 12 seasons together, Manning and Harrison 11, and currently Rodgers and Adams have 7 with an 8th on deck. Now, I'm not saying that Burrow and Higgins are the next Steve Young and Jerry Rice, but I see a lot of potential in these two, and considering they were drafted literally 32 picks apart, makes me really excited for their future together. At face value, if you were to grade their chemistry based off of statistics alone, you would assume that Burrow and Higgins are kind of average. Through 9 games, the two combined for 629 yards and 4 touchdowns on 43 catches and 71 targets, which are pretty solid numbers, especially because if they kept at that pace, T. Higgins would have had well over 1,000 receiving yards last season, but it's not necessarily anything to brag about. However, when you watch these two play on film, it tells a completely different story. And before I show you some of the clips of exactly what I'm talking about, I just want to mention that they didn't have a preseason together and barely an offseason, so they didn't have the necessary time to cultivate their coordination as a quarterback-receiver duo. I don't want to use this as an excuse, but it's definitely something to consider when you're grading their performances in tandem. So now I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about on film. Firstly, I want to look at their Week 6 game against the Indianapolis Colts when T. Higgins had 125 receiving yards against a pretty solid group of DBs. So this play right here was his second catch of the game, and it went for 67 yards downfield. But the interesting part about this connection isn't the fact that Higgins is an absolute specimen, it was Joe Burrow's decision-making. Looking at this play pre-snap, it appears to be a regular 3rd and long. The Colts are in nickel personnel with an extra DB on the field right here, and their best pass rushers are on the line of scrimmage. I mean, they got DeForest Buckner, Danico Autry, probably Justin Houston's out there, whoever. But you can kind of tell by the alignment of Rock Ya-Sin, the corner at the bottom of the screen who's aligned against T. Higgins, that they're in some kind of a man coverage. And also you could tell by 27 right here, the nickel corner who's in the slot, he's kind of got this demeanor as if he's going to blitz. And lo and behold, starting the play, it most certainly is a blitz. So the play side linebacker, the Mike blitzes, and the nickel corner blitzes, leaving the free safety up top right here in man coverage on Tyler Boyd, and leaving Rock Ya-Sin in man coverage on T. Higgins. In this scenario, Joe Burrow has to get the ball out immediately. So what does he do? He throws a prayer to T. Higgins, the best athlete on the field because he's 6'4", and they connect for 67 yards, as I said before, which, fun fact, was their longest connection all season. He doesn't cash this one into the end zone on this play, but he certainly gets close, and when I saw the replay, I found something much more interesting about this play, so I'm going to take it a little bit further. So now the analyst, whoever was going over this game, highlighted how the nickel corner was blitzing. So basically, if you look at the alignment right here, Rock Ya-Sin is supposed to be in man coverage on T. Higgins, and the free safety here, I think he's number 32 or whatever, is supposed to be in man coverage on Tyler Boyd. Now, the route combo they run is pretty simple. It's like a normal stick. Tyler Boyd's running a 10-yard out. He's going to get to the 40 here and run it out. And T. Higgins is just going to run a straight go route. And the interesting part right here is that Tyler Boyd is butt naked. He's wide open. You could honestly, so if you're looking at my mouse right here, the first down marker's right here. And Tyler Boyd is standing 2 or 3 yards past the first down marker. So all Joe Burrow's got to do is literally thread the needle, and I'll actually go back to show you what I'm talking about. Joe Burrow's line of vision is certainly not obstructed right here because his offensive line surprisingly does a good job of keeping this window open and getting on their double teams, and Joe Mixon does a pretty good job in protection too. But so this window to make this throw is quite open. Here we go. I'll pause it at a better time. So when he's making this throw right here, there's no obstruction in his way on the right side of the field. Joe Burrow certainly could have just thrown this out route to Tyler Boyd and got the first down. Instead, he opts to throw a little bit more dangerous of a pass, which is his go route to T. Higgins. This play just goes to show you how much faith Joe Burrow has in number 85 right here. I mean, he would rather throw a fairly dangerous pass 20 to 30 yards down the field than just take an easy 10-yard out route for a first down. And he was rewarded for trusting his go-to guy. And T. Higgins, again, nearly scores on this play. Now, clip number 2 is the same game. It's this play right here. It's the same game, pretty similar scenario. It's third down, but it's like third and medium, third and short. The Colts do not have an extra DB on the field, but they are in man coverage. They're in press man right here. And T. Higgins is going to be man oh man. I don't know who this is. This may be Rocky Ya-Sin again. I'm pretty sure Kenny Moore's on the other side anyway. But this is just another instance where Joe Burrow probably could have had a much easier pass to Joe Mixon in the flat right here being covered by a linebacker and try to get an athlete in space and make a play. He's got Auden Tate, I believe, right there on a simple comeback route. He's got his tight end right here who's in double coverage, so that wouldn't have been a very solid throw. But he's got to make a decision fast because DeForest Buckner is right in his face. So the average quarterback would just throw it to, the running back out in the flat and let him make a play. But Joe Burrow decides to throw into a highly contested T. Higgins. And, of course, he's outstanding, and he comes down with this football. But in terms of decision-making, this is quite reckless. I mean, this is an interception waiting to happen. Now, luckily, again, Joe Burrow's got a lot of faith in T. Higgins, and I guarantee he would not have thrown this ball if it were, if it were Tyler Boyd out there. I mean, God bless Tyler Boyd. He's a great receiver, but, he's just not a contest-to-catch machine like T. Higgins is. But lo and behold, it's a 10-plus yard completion for a first down. And, they got the job done. And also, I think there's going to be a replay right here. I think this ball by Joe Burrow is just so impressive. Look at how he just threads the needle. DeForest Buckner breathing down his throat, getting a hand right in his face. He doesn't care. Like, perfect spiral. Puts it only where his guy can get it. And T. Higgins just gets the job done, comes down with that football. Very impressive, man. Now, the next clip I want to show you is from their Week 8 game against the Titans, where T. Higgins had 6 receptions for 78 yards. And yet again, Burrow just demonstrates how much he believes in his number one target. So on this play, it's similar to the last 2 clips. It's a third down scenario where Joe Burrow just kind of thrives. I mean, this is what he does. He makes great off-schedule plays. Now, the Tennessee Titans only send 3. They got Jadeveon Clowney. I don't know if Jarrell Casey's in the mix there somewhere, but he gets flushed out of the pocket pretty quick because his offensive line was not the best this year. And while he's running for his life, he goes to the only person that he knows is going to catch this ball, T. Higgins. And T. Higgins makes probably one of the most impressive catches I've ever seen, let alone this season, but probably ever. Comes down with this ball, impeccable, a really solid throw. I think he puts it only where his guy can get it, but an impeccable catch. Gets 2 feet down. He's covered by Jonathan Joseph, who's a pretty solid corner in the NFL. I mean, he's a decorated veteran and has been nothing but above average his entire career. But this catch is just absolutely insane. But Joe Burrow is not throwing that to just any guy. Again, no offense to Tyler Boyd, but I don't think he expects him to come down with those balls. A.J. Green in his prime, maybe, but A.J. Green at 30-something years old, probably not. The fact that they were making plays like these, specifically plays like this one, having no offseason, no preseason, and they were in Week 8. This was halfway through the NFL season, and this is what they were coming. I mean, they had 7 total games together. T. Higgins missed Week 1, and they were just absolutely outstanding. The next clip I have for you is later on in this game. Here, it's the 4th and 4. Again, crunch time, off-schedule play. This is Joe Burrow's moment to shine. So on this play, it's typical scramble drill. Joe Burrow's got to make something happen. He drops back in the pocket. You know, the Titans only send 3 pass rushers, so he's got basically all day to throw. But he just threads it right there again. T. Higgins in man coverage. He's got a safety creeping up, breathing down his throat. And he just, not only does he not only does Joe Burrow make a great throw here, but T. Higgins making yet another outstanding contested catch. It's just beyond impressive to me that they're able to do this stuff, especially in crunch time, like on 4th down. Yet another play where I'm dumbfounded by how these two are able to make these kind of spectacular plays. Finally, the last clip I want to show you is from their Week 2 game against the Browns, where this is the first game that Joe Burrow and T. Higgins ever play together. Now, this catch and throw, I don't think are nearly as impressive as the last handful that I've showed you. However, it's in a way even more impressive considering that this was Week 2 of the NFL season, technically Week 1 for the Joe Burrow-T. Higgins connection, and in their second quarter of football together, they're making this kind of magic happen. So Joe Burrow drops back, yet another instance where he's flushed out, has to make a play, and he's scramble drill. Now, I should also point out, I'll go back to the beginning of this play, actually, that Denzel Ward is covering T. Higgins. Denzel Ward's a outstanding corner. I mean, he's highly regarded in the league. He's just an athletic specimen and all of that jazz. But Joe Burrow, again, flushed out of the pocket. I mean, we've seen this at LSU. We see it in Cincinnati, and we're probably going to see it until they fix that O-line. But, again, he's on the run, threads the needle. T. Higgins just with an absolute monster sideline catch. Again, covered by Denzel Ward and B.J. Goodson in coverage right in front of him. I mean, I wouldn't consider this double coverage, but it's definitely a impressive play. But the fact that they were doing this in their very first game together, and this was one of their first receptions, one of the first times these two connected all season, just the fact that they're able to make plays like these on the spot, no preseason, no offseason, nothing but, just nothing but chemistry from these two. This isn't designed. T. Higgins is essentially, this isn't a designed route. This isn't a play that Zach Taylor drew to get T. Higgins open. No, this is I believe it was supposed to be a 10-yard in or a hitch from T. Higgins that he runs toward the sidelines in order to get open in sort of a scramble drill kind of thing. It's sort of like a Kansas City type offense where he's just trying to make a play happen for his quarterback, get open for his guy. And the fact that these two, again, are able to do this in Week 2 of the NFL season and they're both rookies just gives me so much hope for the future. In conclusion, after watching every connection between Burrow and Higgins last season, I have every reason to believe that they are going to carry this production into 2021 and only improve. Thank you for watching.